It started with her laugh. Not the soft, habitual one she gave me over dinner. This was sharper, carried through the thin line of a half-closed door as she slipped her phone back into her purse. I wasn't supposed to hear it. I sat in the kitchen, untouched coffee in front of me, listening to the echo of it travel down the hall. It was a stranger's laugh, reckless, private. Then silence. Her footsteps, the front door. Every weekend it was the same. She'd leave with a rehearsed smile, kiss me like she was punching a clock, and say she needed me time. A word that always felt wrong in her mouth, too light for the weight behind it. The sound of her car pulling away carved something open inside me. Not pain, not yet, more like a calibration. Years of interrogation rooms had trained me to detect shifts in tone, tiny fractures in language. My wife's voice had been shifting for months. Now it cracked. The house hummed with emptiness. I stared at her untouched coffee cup across from mine. Same lipstick mark, same ritual. Only now it looked staged, a prop in a play I hadn't realized I was in. The truth didn't come like a storm. It came like frost, spreading quiet, killing everything it touched. At first, I told myself I was paranoid. 18 years as a CIA interrogator leaves scars, patterns where maybe there are none. But paranoia is just a word people use when they don't like the accuracy of your suspicions. Her phone changed passwords. Her scent shifted, new perfume, hidden behind excuses about a coworker's gift. She started humming in the shower, a tune I'd never heard. Too careless, too comfortable. I began watching. Not openly. I let her believe she was invisible. That's the cruelest mercy you can give someone, space to hang themselves with their own performance. The small betrayals stacked like bricks. Hotel charges masked as spa days. A receipt for 2 glasses of wine. The way she flinched when I asked nothing questions, her eyes betraying too much calculation. She thought she was clever. She thought she was in control. But betrayal has a smell, a certain metallic tang that lingers in the air. I knew it. I'd smelled it in interrogation cells in Kabul, in dark rooms where men swore they were loyal until the evidence slid across the table. My wife had brought that scent into my home. And still, I waited. When you're trained to dismantle lies, patience is your sharpest weapon. I collected data like a surgeon gathering instruments. First, her phone records. She'd forgotten I managed the account. Same number. Repeated. Always Friday. Always Saturday. Next, a quiet visit to the hotel lobby. Cameras never lie. Her silhouette entered the elevator at midnight. Not alone. DNA follows people like shadows. A hair on her scarf. Not mine. I had it tested. Confirmation isn't dramatic. It's devastatingly quiet. Meanwhile, I played the part. Husband. Listener. The steady one. She joked about me being too calm. I smiled. Inside, I was documenting every tick, every lie. I let her weave the rope. I never confronted. Confrontation is for the weak. I built my file. By the end, it was thicker than half the classified reports I used to process. When I finally stopped, I realized I already knew. I had known since the first strange laugh. The night came as it always did. Her perfume arrived 10 seconds before she did. She dropped her bag, stretched her lie into a smile, and said, "Long day." I didn't speak. Words are wasted on the guilty. Instead, I tilted my head toward the bedroom. She followed. On her pillow lay the envelope. Thick, silent. Divorce papers. Printed receipts. Hotel footage stills. The DNA report. Her face collapsed in stages. Confusion first, then panic, then that desperate animal fear of someone cornered with no script left to perform. "Wait, this isn't—" Her voice broke. I stayed seated, calm as stone. My silence was a mirror, forcing her to see herself without distortion. She wept. She begged. I didn't move. She realized what I already had. Nothing she said mattered anymore. I had already executed my strike. The house, the accounts, the retirement, all shifted under her feet before she even stepped through the door. I'd filed weeks before. She just hadn't seen the knife slide in. Her lover, married, a name that would cost him everything, received a neat copy of the evidence by dawn. His silence was guaranteed. His career, finished. She wasn't losing me. She was losing the version of herself she thought she could manipulate. The audience for her performance was gone. And without an audience, actors are nothing. When she realized this, her begging stopped. The silence between us was colder than any scream could have been. I left her there, collapsed in a stage she built herself. The house felt cleaner walking out than it had in years. No ghosts, no perfume, no rehearsed smiles. Just space. People think betrayal breaks you. It doesn't. It clarifies you. It burns away the sentimental lies you've been feeding yourself, leaving only bone and truth. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even hurt. I was awake. As I closed the door behind me, I didn't look back. There was nothing there worth remembering. And when she called my name, her voice was small, a stranger's voice. I kept walking.